Now time to introduce a special guest, Karch, the volleyball legend, the Michael Jordan of volleyball. Some have called you USA women's volleyball coach. Welcome to the broadcast.
Thank you very much. First of all, I just want to give you guys both a shout out. You guys do a great job.
Oh, thank you.
It's really fun to listen to you when we listen from afar in Southern California.
Thank you. If our third headset was working, we'd have Steve on too, but we had to give it to you.
Yeah, we didn't want to give them all.
Meanwhile, Steve's like, what? Hand me your.
I'm elbowing him out here.
Hand me your headset. Yeah. What brings you to Provo this weekend?
Well, I came to, first of all, I love to visit good gyms. And so I got to watch BYU practice yesterday. Of course, I got to play for Sean's dad, my high school coach, Rick Olmstead, fantastic coach. So I've got a lot of ties here with BYU and get to see some good volleyball, get to visit some great friends up in Park City also. So fun weekend.
Hey, there's not enough snow really to ski on the real stuff, but they have the fake stuff out there for you if you want to get out there. Yeah. Sean talks about a picture that he has, as it's 10-9 BYU here, set 2. Of you holding him after a high school championship match when he's 3 months old or something?
Exactly. I still have that picture. I think it's another one of my great friends, John Hanley from that Santa Barbara High School team. And we had just won the CIF championship in California. So bring back some great memories. Of course, Rick and Trudy, and now the volleyball family goes on with Sean on the men's side and Heather doing such a great job for the BYU women.
You're the USA women's volleyball coach as BYU goes up 12-9, 2 in a row there. What have you seen from USA women's volleyball that you've liked as BYU's become kind of a player in the collegiate game and hopes to contribute to USA volleyball at some point?
Well, certainly, somebody like Mary Lake has to be on our radar. She does a great job for BYU, but just generally the women's game is so competitive now in terms of recruiting. So many players out there. That's a real advantage USA has. On the women's side is the fact that there are thousands and thousands of players out there. They don't necessarily play the same game we do, slightly different rules. But we have lots of players to work with, and it's a real blessing for us on the national team side.
And that one was double contacted, point to BYU and Loyola. And what do you think of this match so far? We had a good one with Irvine and Lewis, and Irvine 1 and 3, and now we have BYU and Loyola.
Well, this one's really fun because you got some guys who spent a lot of time with USA just last year, including Jendrick on one side of the net, and Sanders and Bryce doing a lot of work in the USA gym. And it's cool because there aren't I'd like to see way more men playing the game, but the few men that there are, the seasons work right. So you can be a great college player like Micah Christensen and then play in the summertime for USA and get a lot better and then bring it back out on here onto the college court. And you saw Jendrick come out with a couple of blocks and kills early in that first set, really lit his team on fire.
Talking with Karch, USA women's volleyball coach. And if you know volleyball at all, you know Karch. If you don't, now you do. And is Steve's headset working now?
I think so. I don't know.
It's working. Okay. I can hear you.
I was trying to sabotage you here.
I knew it. If there's one guy that's going to replace me,
I'm busted.
I will absolutely. I will just bow down and be done.
14-10. Colin Mahan gets the kill to kind of slow the roll of BYU there a bit. Karch, the men's game has 42 teams in it. The Big West has added men's volleyball, which is nice. Where do you think men's volleyball is at in its growth?
I'm excited about it. So many teams have been added the last few years. That's not necessarily easy to do. 40 years after Title IX, of course, you've got to build women's sports and men's sports at the same time. But when you have probably about 15,000 women on scholarship playing, it's great if you can get somewhere above 120 on the men's side. And that's what's amazing, that the men compete so well internationally with this tiny population.
Yeah.
But you have USA players right out here making real contributions for their teams, along with contributions for USA in the summertime. So the good news for the men is their seasons fit really nicely. They can spend summers with USA and then play this spring season. The women cannot do that. It doesn't fit as well.
Okay.
15-12, BYU up in set 2, down a set as Colin Mahan serves with Brendan Sander. Storm got to Tafunga, who used to be with the USA as a youth.
And you saw Taylor Sander, as soon as he finished with BYU, came out and just lit the world on fire and helped the USA have a great World League season. And so that's the kind of thing that can happen. It's much more difficult to do on the women's side because they don't get to have the same experience throughout their college career.
Yeah, absolutely.
Overpass Fernandez, thank you very much, but it's out. He hit it out.
Oh, no. Oops.
Did you see the burpees were started? If you screw one up in BYU practice, you got to do 5 of those. And watch right there.
Mickey out the we started to do one. That's hilarious.
That's too funny.
He got 1 burpee in.
He knew.
He still owes 4.
He's probably going to do the other 4 over there.
Durkin, back row to Sander, tipped.
You know,
well placed.
Brennan Sander reminded me a little bit of, because I grew up watching you. I'm not going to gush, but I'm just saying, me and everybody else that ever played this game grew up watching you. Anyway, Taylor, not the biggest outside hitter out there, but the guy just skies. And it's just like you. When you were playing, I mean, what, you're 6'3", 6'4"?
6'3", 6'2".
That's me too. I don't know where I am. 3
Shrinking.
or 4, somewhere. You're shrinking?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not that old. But no, same thing. Like, just so powerful, so explosive off the ground. Yeah, very similar to you, I thought. A big shoulder. Yeah, just jump out of the gym.
You got to give people like Taylor credit. I mean, he goes, I think I touched my best for like 11.6. He touches 12 feet. He's taking it to a completely
Does he
different
really
level.
touch 12?
Absolutely.
Oh, my word.
Which is why you can have players like Brandon right there. Even though he missed that one, he's so effective hitting out of the back row, jumping from behind the 3-meter line.
It's almost like a guy hitting from the front
row set.
Totally.
It's like you have 4 hitters on every play.
That's awesome. Yeah, they are so similar to those two.
Yeah.
17-15, BYU second set. Talking with Karch Karai here courtside. BYU has hit a few out. This one dug up on the back row. Zolg, Jendrick tip. Nice dig by Sander. Cross court to Storm. Got to Tafunga. Still alive. Jarman, well done. And Storm keeps it alive. Ramblers in transition, and Jendrick puts it away. The lead is down to 1.
He's amazing.
He's a beast over there. He made his presence felt as soon as he stepped on the court in that first set. With a couple of stuffs and kills, and really he was the different in that first set.
Wagging his finger. He's the I asked Mark Holtz, who's the alpha? I want to know. He said, it's Jeff Jendrick.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Whoever wags the finger, that's probably the alpha guy.
I would think.
17-16, Dane LeClaire back to serve here in set 2. The Cougars down a set. That one's out. I wanted to ask you, Karch, about the new MPSF. UCLA still in BYU. He's like, that's great because that's the biggest match of the year, the rivalry there. It's going to be different. The MPSF has been this huge beast for a long time, and now it's split, and there's more non-conference matches for people.
Sure is. And the other thing I like about it is what I really hope it leads to is more NCAA berths, like a bigger NCAA.
So you want more than 6?
You want women have 64. Love to see the men get to at least 8. And so we have more rationale and more reason to expand it to at least 8. I think it would be great for the men's game.
The increase to 6 immediately, I thought was a good sign. And it's a 3-person committee, so there's not a lot of people involved per se in the decision making. So hopefully 8 at some point. 18-17, and that one hit out as we go back and forth. Excuse me, 19-17 now, BYU on that one.
And it sure makes that conference tournament at the end count a ton because, you know, you've pretty much got to win that. And almost everybody is in the tournament, especially the conference tournament, essentially.
MPSF and Big West, new stuff this season. 19-17, Jendrick dug up by Jarman. Fernandez, right side, big swing, Aylesworth took it off the chest. Wow, but he popped it up. This guy's been all over the place.
He took a swing earlier, that cross court, and then that roll shot. He's hitting with some really nice mixture of shots and ranges.
Timeout on the court. Karch, we appreciate your time. Thank you for hanging out with us, and good luck the rest of the way with USA Women's Volleyball.
And good luck to you guys. You do great work. I really enjoy it.